everything's great. Everything is awesome.
Hey, what's going on? Diablo, Albert, what's going on? How are you guys doing? Long time no see. This is a mic check, so Diablo, if you can tell me if you can hear me okay, that'd be great. It's been a minute since the computer's been updated, and thankfully it's updated, but unthankfully, thank you, Diablo, I appreciate that. It changed all my settings on my computer, so everything was completely foobarred when I came in this morning and tried to set up the stream and everything else. So how the heck has everybody been? Diablo, it's been a minute since I've seen you. Have you even been streaming? I know every night that I'm on, I don't see you ever live, bro. Are you been super busy yourself or what? You been slumming? Been kind of chilling out, relaxing a little bit? Got any new games that you're playing or what? It was good to see you and Albert show up so quick. I was kind of not sure what was going to happen this morning. I know, well, I mean, you know what my schedule's been like. I've been going crazy the past few, all the games. Are you a Far Cry I got all the Far Cries, and I'm telling you right now, I'm far from crying. Let me tell you that right now. Even my youngest one, he had a hard time getting into that one. Yeah, I've been going crazy, man. I'm telling you right now. I from a gym standpoint, I'm I went to a show 3 weeks ago now, a bodybuilding show, and I probably should have been on stage. Everybody that was there was I don't want to say pathetic, but they were pathetic. I'm not gonna lie. Um, and I literally probably could have took my shirt off and went up on stage and won the show. It was pretty sad what I was seeing. And I think the biggest thing for me is I've always been kind of self-conscious of my legs. I think I have smaller legs for the categories that I'm in. And when I saw the guys this year that were up on stage, that fear went away. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to dominate these guys in the spring. So I'm pretty excited. One of the things that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a whole series on this at some point. I'm even going to probably do a YouTube series on it. Is I'm going to do over the winter months here. I'm going to do a whole body recomposition, where I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of dieting and very specific exercises. Not different exercises, just a different mode of exercise, how I do them and whatnot. And I'm going to try and, amp up the day when it comes to my exercise routine. I'm going to try and put on 5 to 10 dry muscle pounds over the winter, which is a crazy amount to do in a very short period of time, but I'm confident with the routine that I put together, I'm going to be able to do it. So that has nothing to do with our guest today, but I thought it was a good intro to the topic that you'll hear me talk about quite a bit this winter as we go. And what I'll do is I'll probably end up recording my sessions once a week and then coming on stream and kind of breaking them down with you guys, answering questions. Because I know I get asked all the time, tons and tons of questions about my gym routine and kind of what I eat and how I stay in shape and all that kind of jazz. So I think this is something that will be beneficial. Kind of bring you guys into the gym with me a little bit, because I think a lot of people underestimate what actually takes place 6 days a week in the gym for those 2 hours. So 2 hours a day, it's 12 hours a week. But yeah, I'm going to introduce you to my guest today as soon as he's done with his glasses. So I want you to see me, and I want you to see them. I want them to see you. So I do have a friend today in the studio. His name is Ron. Ron, go ahead and say hello so the people can see if your mic works.
Hello, everyone.
Diablo, let me know if you can hear Ron's voice. I'm good with his mic, or if I need to turn him up a little bit. Ron, do me a favor, pull the mic a little bit closer. It should just be below your chin, kind of the way I've got mine. Yeah, perfect.
That's better. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, he should be a little less quiet now, Diablo. Either way, I'll turn him up a smidge. So, Ron, welcome. Let me do one more little camera adjustment so you're well in the picture there. There you go. Perfect. So, Ron, welcome to the stream.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad to be here. Ron, you've been in my building 3 or 4 times now for a total of about an hour and a half.
Yes. Yes.
And if I was to say to you, what are your first impressions of what you've seen so far? We'll get to that in a second, so keep that in the back of your mind.
Okay.
But Ron, what brings you to Rise Above? Why are you here?
Well, I'm doing my Master's of Social Work program at Spring Arbor University, and Neil is the person that gave me an opportunity to do my internship with the organization.
So you're doing a Master's of Social Work?
Yes.
At the university here in town?
Yes.
Hey, Monsieur Don, what's going on, buddy? Nice to see you, bud. Cheers, mate. So you're here doing an internship. How many hours we need? 500, we say?
500.
500-hour internship with the goal of graduating with a Master's in Social Work. That's pretty spectacular.
Yes. For me, yes, it is.
I think for any of us, it'd be pretty spectacular. So I think the goal today is kind of, I want to explore a little bit about kind of what you see. Yeah, no problem, Diablo. Kind of what you see as your takeaways, what you think you might take away from Rise Above.
Okay.
What you understand of Rise Above and the work that we do and how you think it impacts or doesn't impact.
Okay.
And kind of relate it to your own personal experiences. So experiences in your lives. One of the things that I do here often on the stream is I talk about a lot of my own past.
Okay.
You know, the the good and the bad and the ugly, so to speak.
Okay.
And you know, I don't necessarily tell war stories, but at the same time, I talk about how I've used my experience to overcome certain things, whether it be through faith or whether it be through persistence and
Okay.
perseverance. So back to my original question. You've been here handful of times now. You've got a few hours under your belt. You officially start your internship today, and the first thing I do is I throw you into the studio.
That's no problem. I'm not sure.
You poor bugger. What are your first impressions?
Well, as you said, I've been here a few times, never for a long period of time. But one thing I can say about this whole facility, everywhere I've gone in it, it's quiet.
Yeah.
This is a learning environment for some troubled children that were placed in your care. And from what I heard from the interview, when you interviewed me, I had a couple questions coming in, and one of the questions that impressed me was this. I asked you, I said, okay, when you get these children and you do what you do with them, what is your turnaround rate? Because I know that they're being expelled from public schools, whatever other school is in the area. In other words, kicked out. Well, when we got kicked out, we kicked out for a week.
Yeah.
We come back in a week.
Yeah, yeah.
But expulsion, you're done.
It's permanent. Yeah, it's a minimum 1 year.
Minimum 1 year.
Yeah, minimum 1 year they're out of school, which is crazy.
Really, it is.
Yeah.
In my past, coming through school, I've spoken to Neil about some of my antics. I was a smart kid, but when I got done doing what I was doing, my mind would wander. I don't mind, and I got in trouble. I got kicked out. I never got expulsion, and I thank God for that. So I can really relate to a lot of the children that I'm going to deal with and be around in your facility. I think if it wasn't for my mother and father upbringing and their strictness, I probably would have been expelled.
Yeah.
I was a kid that, I don't know, I guess I was like Curious George. What if I do this, or will they say this? I'll put it like this. The analogy of if you stick your hand in the fire, you're going to get burned.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Hey,
I was
Liam.
the type of person that, well, I heard what you said, but what if I come this way?
Yeah.
So I had to try all these different angles and all different methods, and then I'm burning my hand off till I finally realized that fire is going to burn you.
Yeah, yeah.
So hard-headed, stubborn, didn't like authority. I really realized that later on in my life. I look back, I didn't like my mother and dad telling me what to do. I had to do it, though, because I get cracked upside the head. Not that they hit me inside the head, they whooped my butt.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know. Then I got to the point where I got a little older, and they were like, okay, look, well, now you ain't got to get the whoopings all the time. You can take a punishment if you want to.
Yeah, yeah.
So I tried that for a while, and I realized when I messed up, I'm sitting here looking out the window. In the summertime, all the other kids running around the neighborhood, I'm sitting in the house.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'll take that butt whooping so I can get back out the door. So they tried different methods of discipline with myself, and I just was not really going along with the program. And finally got in trouble with the law in between 11th and 12th grade. Did not get me expelled. I went to jail in between 11th and 12th grade. I got out, went back to school. Everything was cool. I was a very good athlete, basketball and football.
Yeah.
I ran track because coach wanted me just to do it to stay in shape. I was not great in track. But basketball and football, I had scholarships in 11th grade.
Yeah.
I was earning them in the 10th and 11th grade. I had scholarships.
Yeah.
My goal was to go to somebody's school, either football or basketball, and go to college.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to jail the first time in the 11th grade, that summer, between 11th and 12th grade, I got out. I got back in school, everything was normal. Well, about 4 or 5 weeks into school, I went to jail again. Remembering that I said I'd never go to jail again the first time, I went again. Well, now it's basketball season, and I'm going all out because I know I have stacked the deck against myself. I've never had to go all out to make any team. I went all out this year. I ended up getting cut.
Yeesh.
I couldn't believe it. I made the first cut.
Yeah.
I didn't make the second one. So right now, my life is just flip flop. What do? I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know how to talk to my parents. I didn't know how to reach out to anyone. But this is what I decided to do. I decided to go into the military because I wanted to get out of Muskegon, Michigan. I felt that I disgraced the family, tarnished my name in the city, that no matter wherever I go, this is going to follow me.
Sure.
So I'm getting out of here. So my first ticket out of here was to the military. Got in the military, and
What branch of the military?
I went to the Army.
Army. So I'm Army as well.
Okay. I went administrative specialist.
Yeah.
Reason I was able to do that is because I was in college prep courses.
Yeah.
and
Pull that
throughout high
mic up
school.
just a smidge closer for me.
Okay.
Yeah, just there you go. Just up to your up towards your chin so the guys can hear you. There you go. That's
That's a little
perfect.
better?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
So I just have to look back on my life and realize that I was a troublesome kid, and it was my fault because my mother raised me right, my father raised me right. My father was there in the household, retired as a mailman. My mother worked in the school system. I used to get sent in the hallway
Yeah.
every day in 6th grade because it was a new teacher. I don't know why they did this. They took our whole 5th grade class and moved us into the 6th, his class.
Yeah.
So we were used to each other, and we was giving him the runaround. Send me to the hall I had to go to the hall every day.
Me too.
I mean, if
See,
it-
you're describing my childhood there.
Okay.
Right.
So the funny part about this hallway time
Yeah.
is my mother. She was not the head clerk at the school at this period of time. She ended up earning that position. But what my mother did was she would come to different classes and get the kids who needed remedial, math and reading.
Yeah.
She would go to the room, get them out the room, take them to her room, and they would give them remedial training to get them up to speed.
Yep.
I got so good that my mother's room was around the corner and like the second room from the end. And I sometimes hear click, click, click. Okay, that's mama. I would go to the bathroom, right down the hallway, go in the bathroom, sit it out. I could hear her pass by the bathroom, click, 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 clap, clap her shoes.
Yeah.
I could hear the kids because sometimes they would make noise, and I knew they would pass by, and I would wait a little bit longer, and I didn't hear any noise. Then I would return back to sitting by my door. So I had a system.
Yeah, you got it all figured out.
So my mother and father made me go to church. I didn't learn that much in church because I didn't want to be there. I was there because I was made to go.
Sure.
But what I do realize over the years is that I did learn something. When I got to the point in my life where I was like hopeless, on drugs, been in and out of jail, in and out, job here, lose it, get another job. My attitude was, well, I'll just go get another job. Instead of fixing myself, I'll just go get another job. I went through that routine for years. Still a smart guy, but too smart for my own self. I really started digging a hole for myself. And getting out the military, while in the military, I thought I would do 20 years.
Yeah. Was your goal to get like the GI Bill type thing, go to college, university afterwards? Like,
I don't really know what my goal was, but I was going to do 20 years.
Yeah, I got you.
I figured eventually I would go to school because they paid.
Yeah.
I was in the VEAP program.
Yeah.
Which every dollar I put in, they put in too. So if I ever get out, I can go to school.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Or I find out you can go while you're in school. But just when I really had decided that I was going to do 20 years, it wasn't a week. It was within a week that I got in trouble. First time in trouble in the military, which is different.
A little different.
I finally realized from that incident that no matter what rank I get, it's always going to be somebody going to outrank me and tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Then, right after that, I took the attitude of, when I'm able to get out, I'm getting out. I experienced, I went through a medical situation while in the military. I had a kidney disease. The name of it was glomerulonephritis. And what it did is made my legs retain water.
Yeah.
I swole up, but I didn't know what was going on because, we worked out so intense. But, I thought I was kind of bulking up.
Jacked.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then all of a sudden I start falling out of races. I couldn't keep up in the marches. I was getting winded. So I was like, hell no, something wrong. So I went to my drill sergeant one day and I told him, hey man, something ain't right. He said, we're going down to the dispensary, which is going on sick call, like going to the doctor.
Yeah.
So I went down there. They took me from there and sent me to the hospital
Oh, wow.
because they knew something was wrong. They didn't know what.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to these doctors talk over my head. And it's like the fourth day or fifth day that I was in the hospital. They don't know what's wrong with me. They took me down to the basement of the hospital. I was sitting in front of this doorway, and I was right on the edge of another hallway. So this hallway went like this and turned, and I was right here where I'm sitting right now. And I heard some people talking, and happened to be 3 doctors. They walked in front of me and walked right in the room next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they were telling him, I know he was a specialist. He's a specialist.
Yeah.
Foreign gentleman. And they were telling him. And he came out and he looked at me. And he said, son, do you mind if I touch your thigh? Yeah, go ahead. And he pushed, because I was in, what was I in? I was in a gown. So he pushed my leg, my thigh, and he put his hand back. The impression stayed there.
Oh, wow.
He said, a lot of swelling. He said, I already know what it is. Go on, put him over there in this part. He has a kidney disease, glomerulonephritis. So they were talking much, and then they were like leaving me. I'm like, hey, hold it. What did you say I got?
Can you please repeat that?
Can you tell me what's going
Yeah,
on?
exactly.
So he broke it down to me. What he said is that my body is retaining water.
Yeah.
My kidneys are not filtering the water properly to get the fluids out of my system.
Yeah.
They said what could happen, it was very detrimental what could happen. So now I know what's wrong with me. So they were talking about medical discharge. Well, I was like, man, I can't get no medical discharge. They're going to be like I'm a misfit. No, I can't get no medical discharge. So I talked to him, and what they did, they put these leg cuffs on me from way up top of my thigh down to my ankles, and they were squeezed.
Yep.
To get the fluid out of me. They put me on a very no-salt diet, limited fluid intake.
Yeah.
I started feeling better. So they came to me. It was around Thanksgiving. That must have been 1983. No, that was 82. I went in 82. Yeah. So he came in. How you doing, Ron? I said, I'm doing better. He said, you know what? Thanksgiving come. How would you like to go home? What you mean go home? No, he said convalescent leave.
Yeah.
He explained to me. I don't know what it was. He explained to me what it was. So what happened was he explained that you'll probably heal better in a known environment, like going home.
Yeah, sure. Low stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll come back and you'll be fine. Well, yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. So I went home and I had the strict things of what to do and what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
But me being the knucklehead I did everything
but that
contrary to what I was supposed to do. Smoking weed, drinking, party, and whatnot, even though I felt good. So now my 2 weeks is up and I got to come back. No, they're going to give me a drug test. I don't know why they'll test my urine all the time.
Yeah.
Blood also too. Well, stayed around the hospital for about 9 days, 8 or 9 days.
Mm-hmm.
He came in again. He said, Ron, how would you like to go home again for Christmas on convalescent leave?
Yeah.
So I got 34 more days convalescent leave.
Yeah.
Same routine. Don't do this here, don't do that. Well, I did everything contrary to it. Came back, feeling guilty. You know, boy, they gonna catch me this time.
Everything's right.
I was there 3 days to check
Everything
me out and
is
send me back
awesome.
to do the 50. So I realized though that I'm getting out when I can get out. I'm a service-connected disabled veteran, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm service-connected. I got my first permanent party station down in Fort Sam, Houston, Texas. This is the military base where all the medical MOSs train down there.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a paradise. Beautiful women all the time. Making a long story short, I was in the gym showing out in front of this young lady from, I'll never forget, Clarendon, Arkansas. Her and her 3 friends, we used to call them Charlie Angels. And man, I was shooting the lights out. I was in the zone. And this guy that I was playing against, this particular game, I mean, I'm shooting him out, and he's not liking it.
Mm-hmm.
And about the 7th time I went to shoot, I was way in the corner, and when I pulled up, he was pulling up with me. Then I look again, and he started coming toward me. But I shot. I got the ball off. I shot it. I arced it. But I'm seeing him coming, like trying to cut me, undercut me, which he did. And it's just like slow motion. When we made contact, I feel myself spinning in the air. It's like real slow motion, like a cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm spinning, and I'm seeing myself spinning, so I know the outcome. I have time to look at him. My mind is saying, grab him on the way down to brace the fall.
Yeah.
Well, as I'm getting ready to grab him, he steps out the way, so
Oof.
I get full impact of the fall.
Ouch.
So I come down like on my right buttocks,
Yeah.
tilted a little bit, cocked a little bit, and then like my legs hit and then my back hit. Well, my mind is saying, when you get off the ground, whoop his behind. And that's what my mind told me to do, and that's what I was going to do. However, when I hit, I could not react.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just momentarily paralyzed.
Yeah.
Well, my buddy came and pushed him out, pushed him. Man, you. And then my other buddy, him and my other buddy picked me up on the shoulders, took me to his car. He just happened to be a sonar x-ray tech.
Mm-hmm.
And he took me to Beach Hospital, which is right down the street from the gym.
Yep.
Got me out the car, got me in, took these x-rays, found one of his doctor buddies. Said, man, you got to read these, man. My buddy, he just had an accident. And I remember the doctor was looking at him. We was all together. They said, well, I don't see any breaks. Not saying it could be, not that it couldn't be a hairline fracture.
Sure.
So got out of that. I was sore. And what they did, they sent me to physical therapy Monday morning.
Mm.
No, excuse me, not physical therapy.
Like chiropractic type thing?
No, it was, what was it?
Acupuncture?
No, they sent this probe was sent these ultrasound.
Ultrasound. Gotcha.
That's what they
Yeah,
said.
I got you.
Ultrasound. So me being no good I was, Monday I went to the mess hall, ate a good breakfast, smoked something before I went. So I was high. When I got there, the lady put me on the table, put this cold gel on me, put this probe thing on me, this metal thing on me, and I could feel stuff being shot through my body.
Sure,
and it
sure.
relaxed me every time I would go to sleep. Mr. Kidd, you're done. Huh? Oh, okay. So about 2 weeks of that, I was back to duty and whatnot, normal duty. Over the years, it paid off because I started having back problems.
Mm.
And they told me, well, it might be due to an accident. I told them about the accident. So
Sure.
they tied that in. When I was in Korea, my knees started, they said I had knee spurs.
Yeah.
So my knees and my back tied into my disability. So over the years, I got out of the military, got jobs, started losing jobs, drinking, drugging. Things aren't going too well, but in my mind, they were. So I got the disability finally, but my life is really not going anywhere.
Mm. So pause there for 2 seconds. Just want to say hi to a couple people real quick. Morg, thank you for the tier 1 sub. That's huge. 15 months. I mean, why are you hanging around so long? Get a job. Kuro, good to see you again. Who else is here? I saw somebody else. Oh, Don's here as well. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Been a minute since I've seen you because I like you. Thank you, Morg. Hope everything's going well, kiddo. How is life and everything going? It's been a minute since we've had an update here. So let me know. Okay, so
just to fast forward, okay, so a lot of trouble in my life, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol in my life. Been in many rehabs, drug rehabs. Every time I went, I felt I would come out better. But when I really got out and got to the hood or where I was from, just went back to the same thing.
Sorry, 1 second. Audience, if you guys have questions, anything like that, shoot it in chat and I'll ask questions. Yeah?
So one thing I knew in my addiction is this. I did want to quit. I didn't know how.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you knew that what you were doing you didn't want to do.
Yes, I knew that.
What about it was it that you didn't want? Was it the cost? Was it the broken relationships? Was it everything? Like what was
accumulation of it all?
Everything.
Accumulation of it all.
Yeah,
but me, I didn't feel I was me.
Gotcha.
Well, I'll break it down like this.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, in the beginning, using the crack cocaine was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Then eventually, it wasn't fun. I used because I had to use.
It becomes work almost. Yeah.
Oh man, it had to be work.
Yeah, gotcha.
I work overtime to buy more drugs. It was a commercial it was a commercial that was like that. I said, man, that's me. And this person's walking around in a square.
Yeah.
And they're steadily going down. I was in a one drug rehabilitation program, and we had an AA or NA meeting down in the basement. I shared that. You know, I really see my life like that little Scrubbing Bubbles commercial. These things are cleaning the the tub up and make it sparkling. But when it's over, they go down the drain. My life was going down the drain, and I could see this. Years later, after drug rehabs, failed drug rehabs, and whatnot, I started realizing, you know what? Matter of fact, my wife, start complaining.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you gonna go? Why don't you go? When you gonna go to a rehab? I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Then she asked me a few weeks later, well, what's going on with that? Well, you can't just get in the VA.
Yeah.
They got to make a slot for you. So then finally about 4 weeks later, she said, so what's going on with that? And I finally just came clean. I said, baby, I'm not going to any more rehabs. She said, what? I said, no, the only way I'm going to quit this, I got to get the Lord to take this out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Take the taste of the drugs, the alcohol, the tobacco, all this lifestyle out of my mouth.
Yeah.
So what I did is I cried out to the Lord.
Mm.
And I asked him to take that taste and that desire out of my mouth. I didn't say my heart. I was just talking about my mouth.
I'm with
But
you.
what God did is he cleaned me up. And he gave me the opportunity that, look, choice is yours.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to that liquor store or not. You can go to the dope house or not. You can buy some cigarettes or not. It's all up to you.
Yeah.
I've done my part. Now it's up to you.
Yeah.
So what I did after I got some clean time in is I started realizing I didn't use my mind. I didn't waste my mind out there. I didn't smoke my mind away.
Yeah.
I still was very learnable, still very teachable. And I wanted to learn. I enrolled in Mesquite Community College. So I had about a 2.5-year run where I was drug-free, no cigarettes, working out, starting to look good. Back as far as myself, started bulking up, was walking, running, riding a bike, doing exercise, going to the YMCA, children looking better, vehicle starting to upgrade,
Mm-hmm.
wife, wardrobe, everything is good now.
Yeah.
Well, me being me, I backslid. And I believe why I backslid is I got a little too complacent. I started feeling myself, thinking I was somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing I know, I was back into my addiction, full blown.
Yeah.
Probably a little worse off than I was when I left.
Mm. It's funny if one day when we go down to my office and have a chat and whatever we're doing down there, look on my one wall there. I have a little sign that one of my good friends gave me, and it says, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Okay.
And it's just it's his way of it's a friendly reminder to keep me humble.
That's it. Okay.
Right? Just to say, yeah, I'm saying this, but you're not a big deal.
Okay.
You're just like everybody else.
Understand
Stop thinking you're here and we're here, sort of
Amen.
thing.
Beautiful.
Because it's a great way of creating this complacency. I mean, that's such a great statement. And by the way, Morg, one of the young ladies that visits our stream a lot, says she likes you and she wants to know if she can keep you.
Oh, wow.
She likes the storytelling.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, she appreciates you. Morg, Ron's gonna be around for probably till the spring at least.
At least.
I'd say probably June, July.
Maybe after.
Yeah, maybe after, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where Ron's here for an internship, social work internship, and kind of like what I was trying to do with you, Morg, get you over here to do some work for me. But Morg is huge. She does a lot of work with kids, with smaller kids. We
Okay.
work with the older kids. She works with a lot of the smaller ones.
Okay.
And she just was telling here about how she's got a job right now helping kids like she's always wanted. She's been buying them winter gloves and stuff like that because a lot of them need winter gear. Sounds like so. Morg, you're doing a good job, kiddo. Keep it up. So, but so yeah, you get kind of back on track, then you fall off track, and
Yeah. Oh, I did that a few times. I did that a few times. So
wash,
like I
rinse,
said,
repeat.
I got through my associate's degree.
Yeah.
No problem. It was three.
What was the
7,
school
3,
again?
8. Mesquite Community
Muskegon
College.
Community College.
That's
what
where I was from before I came here.
Yep.
Then I enrolled into Western Michigan University.
Mm-hmm.
After I got out for that addiction, once I fell off.
Mm-hmm.
I finished my associates. I had a little time, fell off, got cleaned back up. Then I applied for Western. Went to Western, did well.
That's a
Fell
big
off
school
again.
too. That's
Yeah, it was. And now I was taking I was taking the general university studies program,
sure.
which when I got done, it was not going to amount to anything.
Yeah.
So 2015, I went back to, did I go back? I went back, no, that's when I started Western Michigan University.
Yeah.
And I was working at the time. I had become a peer support specialist in the state of Michigan, certified.
Thanks, dude.
Which I'll explain that right quick.
Oh
Peer
my
support.
God.
I worked on an
What a great
interdisciplinary
day.
team for community mental health. we had psychiatrists, we had primary care physicians, we had therapists, which were social workers, myself, and anybody else on the team to help the individual out to reach their goals in their treatment plan. So I was the one that was in the grunt. I was the grunt in there with them, going through what they had to go through. I mean, I did
Thanks,
certain
dude.
things. Tutor a guy. Show
Oh
people
my
how to ride
God.
the bus system.
What a great day.
Go shopping with people. Deal with people, a lot of people with anxiety and depression, and they weren't going to the store by themselves. They needed a support, which that's what I was for them. So I wore many different hats in that job. And with me dealing with social workers and the different psychiatrists and whatnot, my input, my lived experiences were very vital, and they applauded them, and they would listen to me. Not that I was somebody; it's just that, hey man, I've been with this guy. I know where he comes from.
I get it. Yeah,
I can relate
yeah,
to
I
him.
can relate.
You know what I'm saying?
That's huge. We talk about that all the time with the students here. Yeah.
Yeah, lived experiences. So I love what I was doing. I was helping others. Well, anyway, I started in Battle Creek at the Sheriff Center. So that was right down the street from Kalamazoo, Western Michigan University. So I took 2 classes in the summer, social work classes. And I got an A in both of them. I made the dean's list. So I got charged up
surprised.
about that. Well, got complacent again and fell off. So now I'm not going to Battle Creek because I lost that job. So I started doing it here in Jackson at the ARE Incorporated, which is at 330 West Franklin, doing the same thing. And I was already certified, so I walked right into the job. Well, over a period of time, I knew I wanted to go back to school. I was working part-time because I get Social Security disability as well.
What were you doing over there again?
Same thing, peer support specialist,
Gotcha.
same setup.
Yeah.
And what happened, I look at it as, to me, a detriment. But a lot of times a person doesn't realize that some things that are happening to you, you look at them as bad, but God will make the good come out in it.
Sure.
So what happened was I ended up getting my bachelor's degree, left Western, and started doing social work at Spring Arbor University. Well, 2-year course while working part-time. If you all can see me, you'll realize I'm not 18 or 19 or 22, 23 years old. I'm a non-traditional student.
Me either, brother.
Okay. Okay. So I'm
a little older
57.
too.
57 at the time. And, well, that was 56 at the time. I got my bachelor's. So I had the bright idea to single my boss up and be like, okay, Amber, what can I do with my degree? Knowing I'm going to move up, I need more money.
I got to work.
And she looked right at me and told me, nothing. I was like, hold on. It really hurt. It hurt. It hit me like, what? So I was stuck for a minute. Then she said, no, well, you know what? You could help. You could do case management. My ears perked back up. And they started giving me some trainings in Reliance, which is through communal mental health. And they started telling me what I would be doing. There was a young lady, I'm not going to mention her name, who was kind of not doing her job.
Sure.
Because us as peer supports would do contacts with our consumers. And we would go do our our notes, progress notes in Leo. We would do the bill for it, and we couldn't get the billing because they didn't have any authorizations.
Yeah.
So this person was sleeping on the job. So they said I could help her out to keep her straight, which would help my peer support specialist peers and the company.
Yeah.
Well, next thing I know, the training started coming slow. I started noticing. I'm very observant. And it started coming a little bit slower because I'm eating them up and spitting them right back out. And I'm telling my wife, man, I love this training stuff. And I started telling my wife, man, they aren't coming like they used to.
Yeah. I love
It's
training too. I spent several
training.
years training.
Okay.
Yeah. Just as a quick aside, just so you know that young lady Morg meme, in the platform that we use, there's something called Bitz.
Okay.
They're like a cryptocurrency type thing,
Oh.
and they cost real money for them to buy these things.
Good.
And then she just donated to our stream 1,500 of those bits. She gave specifically. She says here's 500 for Risk, which is me, and then she says here's 1,000 for Ron. So
Thank you. Thank you very much, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you, Mark.
you.
Me.
So then,
So that's a donation that goes towards Rise Above. Just
Good.
that's what they do when they do that. So
you all take crypto money too, in other words.
it's like crypto money. It just comes through PayPal or one of the whatever platform
Okay.
that they use. I forget off the top of my head, but
Cool.
But-
Anything is better than nothing.
yeah, wait, all
Thank
goes to help the kids, right?
Amen. That's what it's
So-
all about. And so now that brings me to the point where I got the bachelor's.
Yeah.
I start getting the trainers, the
Thank you,
trainings
Mark.
less. I know something's wrong. I said to my wife.
Yeah.
So I approached my supervisor to talk to her supervisor. So we was all in a Zoom meeting. And that didn't resolve too much of anything. However, I got called to a meeting the next week on Zoom. My human resource person,
Mm-hmm.
my boss, her boss, my boss's assistant. There was 5 people plus me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what's going on? So my boss's assistant started out like, oh, Ryan, we're here today, man. I know you've been telling me seems like you're stressed. And we were just, wanting to get to I said, what makes you seem like I'm stressed, Andy? I shouldn't have mentioned his name, but this guy said.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, so I said, what makes you feel like I'm stressed? Well, you told me that you're working full time to get part time pay.
Mm.
But what he didn't realize is me and my boss in that one meeting, we figured out my boundaries. I need to set stronger boundaries. So now I just work from Monday. I work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Mm.
So now that's not a problem anymore, Andy. If you'd have talked to your boss, you'd have known that.
Mm.
Well, the reason I say that is because with me feeling you stressed, I don't think it would be a good idea for you to facilitate the group.
Mhm.
I think it was Travis' guide group.
Mm.
So I said, well, again, I don't understand your analogy because if you talked to your boss, you would have known that was rectified.
Mm.
So I don't agree with what you're saying. Well, my boss jumped in and I thought she was coming to my rescue. And what she said was this, well, Ron, you know what? Right now, we need your expertise and professionalism as a peer support. We're going to get to that case management stuff a little later. But right now, this is what we need you to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the nut in the shell for me. That's what this is all about. I see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it, but I'm accept that. So I got out the meeting without saying anything stupid or I saved face through the meeting.
So you have this meeting.
Mhm.
At some point, you make a determination that okay, I'm moving on.
Mhm.
I'm going somewhere else.
Right.
You decide at some point to go back to school.
Yep.
Go to SAU.
Yep.
How do you in your 50s
Mhm.
decide? I think a master's degree is a good idea. Let's go do a master's degree.
Okay.
I mean, because I got called crazy at 38.
Really?
Going back to school to get my degree that I just got.
Okay.
So, and I mean, that was 12 years ago,
Okay.
and I mean, there's a lot more to mine. I think not a lot more in the sense of, I was moving countries and doing a bunch of other stuff too. I
Okay.
wasn't just. Mark's like, isn't there age limits to getting degrees?
Not yet, thank God. Oh, I wouldn't be
Thank
here.
God, or exactly, I wouldn't be either.
For sure.
That's so funny.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm gonna tell you what sparked me going to get my master's. I kind of knew I wanted to go to school.
Sure.
I'm like, man, I ain't finna go to school, man. I'm just gonna find me another job. Well, I put in a couple jobs, especially through the VA, that I didn't get. Me and my wife were in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is where she's from. And it's a gentleman down there who is a peer support specialist for the VA. His name is Reginald Howard. We were in town, so I said, let me go by the VA and check on Reggie.
Sure.
So we pulled up, and we saw a blue van, the VA van.
Yeah.
Reggie was walking away from it, walking to this older, nice, old-school Cadillac. And I eased up on him. And when he turned around, he was right in my face. I had the power window down. I said, never thought I'd sneak up on you like this, man. Ryan, what's going on? What's going on? So I said, man, this your car? Beautiful. He said, yeah, man, check it out. Immaculate on the outside, gray, blue, leather interior, not a blemish.
Yeah.
Got it for a good deal on it.
Sure.
So we talked. So I was telling him, yeah, man, that job down there in Benton Harbor, I pointed out better than anybody in the interview, but they gave it to the second guy
Mm-hmm.
who was second under me. He got the job. I wasn't really disappointed, but I was disappointed because I wasn't moving
Sure,
to,
yeah,
to
yeah.
Benton Harbor.
Yeah.
And when I started talking to him about it, he's like, yeah, man, I know. Because he sits on some of the boards that hire the peer support specialists. We said, man, you know what? Don't worry about that. You're going to get something soon. Something going to pop. He said, man, why don't you go back and get your master's? You're already doing social work.
Yeah.
And he told me what the ones in Battle Creek make and the ones in Ann Arbor would make, which is the Ann Arbor VA. And I didn't think too much. Then like, Reggie, nah, man, I ain't gonna do all that, whatnot. And I got back in the van, and me and my wife were riding, got back to Jackson, and next few days that thing kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
Not bothered me, kept tugging at me.
It just sat on you a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and so I started dwelling on it, contemplating it. Started thinking, why not? Why not? Yeah, why not? So I started checking into the program at Spring Harbor University. I called and got hooked up with Voc Rehab again. Same Voc Rehab counselor I had for my bachelor's. And she said that I still had some time left, in other words, credits that I could use to go to school. So found out I had to apply for the master's program, and it wasn't like going to the bachelor's, just you was in.
Yeah.
The master had to apply, and I had to do this paper to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And the killing part about the paper was this. In my bachelor's, we were taught APA 6. When it came down to doing the paper for the master's, the lady informed me that it had to be done in APA 7. So I had done the paper.
Yeah.
And she said, Miss Kidd, if you turn it in like this, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean, turn it in like this? She said, they're doing APA 7. How am I supposed to know how to do that? She said, I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
So what had happened was the running head had changed.
Yeah.
A few things had changed, and she brought me up to speed.
Yep.
And she said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to make these changes. And you're going to get back with me right after you make the changes. And I'm going to look at your paper again.
Sure.
So every time I would correct this, I'm feeling good about myself. Say, okay, we got to work on the citing. Okay. And there were some things that she didn't know that she researched.
Sure.
And she researched, I researched, we matched wits together, and we came up with a paper that got me in. Since then, it's been a great journey. I'm not bragging, but every class I've had, I got an A in everything.
That's nice.
Every paper I've had, I got an A in it. I got one when I get out here today, I got to put together. It's not even a challenge, but here goes my past again. Now I'm looking for an internship. I had landed one at a, I'm not going to say the agency, but.
Yeah, let's try and avoid the agency names
cool.
for now.
Yeah. So I got an internship, and it was like the bomb. It was, man, this is perfect. Everything was going to be by Zoom. I didn't have to have contact with nobody.
Yeah.
Well, after the second meeting, after my second day of the internship, which I did one Tuesday, I did Thursday, Matter of fact, the following Tuesday I went.
Yeah.
Wednesday I get a call, and I'm looking at the call ID. Whoa, what does she want? This is odd. I don't know why I was feeling something. And I got on the phone, and she was my field supervisor.
Yeah.
She said, Ron, she said, I hate to tell you this, but we can no longer let you be do your internship at the agency.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? Your background check. I said, well, why didn't that come out in the beginning? She said, we were reluctant to do it right away. But once we did it, we can't have a volunteer. We can't have internship. Nobody's even employed here. Due to the funding we get, we can't do it.
Yeah.
So then the killer part about it, the humorous part about it was right after she told me this, she said, okay, when can we get the computer back? So I paused and I said, you just ripped my heart out, and you worried about the computer? I said, I'll get it to you in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll be down there in the morning.
Yeah.
I remember the next morning, it was raining very, very hard. I had to put the computer up under my jacket. I walked it into the agency. She was there to receive it. We talked, and she really apologized for not being able to keep me and whatnot. So I had to look for another internship.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy. I finally got one.
Yeah.
I had another possibility of one. and this was dealing with substance abuse. I'm not gonna say the name of the agency. It's local, and they accepted me. But all the pieces to the puzzle that I was looking for wasn't there. Well, I reached out again to another entity, and they accepted me. And then I finally had an interview with this organization with Neil.
Yeah. Here at Rise Above, you're talking about.
Here at Rise Above.
Yep.
And once I got, it wasn't even at the end. During the interview, I said, this one I'm gonna do my intern. If he'll have me, this one I'm gonna do my internship.
What was it that made you think that?
Two things. I asked you about what's your turnover rate? What's your rate of getting these kids back on
success
track?
rate.
Success rate.
Yeah.
You told me something about it. 26. Excuse me. You said 80 percentile.
80 percentile. Yeah.
Okay, so that got me thinking. We talked about a little bit more.
Yeah. So what he's saying is that he was asking about the student success rate post program, and our success rate is somewhere in the high 70, low 80 percentile range.
Fascinating.
Of our students that come through our program are successful 1 year post program. And the 20% you were talking about was what the national average is for the same student population without a program like Rise Above.
I'm getting to that.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you told me the 80 percentile, I don't remember saying high 8, 70, low 80s. I said, wow. I said, okay, that got to compare to something. I said, okay, so compared to what is the state doing? What are the program they got out there?
Yeah.
Oh, they're about 23 or 26, maybe 29%.
If you're being generous,
what?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. So that knocked me, I was head over heels with that right there. Then you start explaining the children that you're dealing with. Hey, man, some people coming to school with guns, drugs, fights, and all that kind of stuff. I started, the people you were describing was me.
Mm.
Now you were talking about these second chances. And here I am, I need a second chance.
Yeah.
And I convinced myself then, this is where I'm going to be, if he'll have me. And I remember one of the last things you said is, well, because I was honest about my record.
Yeah.
What I had
Which
done.
is huge. And what did we tell you? What did we say about honesty? Honesty is everything to me. I mean, without honesty, you got nothing, right?
I found that out.
Yeah.
And what they say, honesty is the best policy.
Yeah,
I've heard that many, many
absolutely.
times.
Mm-hmm.
So what you told me at the end was this. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you could start today. But I don't know how I'm going to work it in with being around the students with your records.
Mm-hmm.
So you said, well, let me work on that.
Yep.
And then finally you told me to come in and fill out the application. And it went up. And I'm thinking I'm going to get an answer in about 2-3 days. A week had passed. And I didn't want to bug you. But I finally called you the next week. And you said, we ain't got nothing back. You said this could happen in a couple days, sometimes it could take a couple weeks.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, you finally called me and
You're
said,
waiting on the government. You can't do too much, right?
So you finally called me. Neil finally called me and said, look, man, you cool. Show up this date and this time. So I've been here ever since then. I really look at these kids as myself. It's like a mirror reflection. One thing I've learned in life through the word of God is we're servants. These kids need a second chance. I need a second chance. We're going to grow together. I'm going to do what I can do to be a part of their growth and a part of their success.
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
Neil explained to me how this program works, about how not only we return them back to the school that they were kicked out of, but how they keep in contact with them, how they have actually become family.
Yeah.
I attend a church here locally, and learning more about the Lord has taught me to be the man that I have become. I always knew to do the right thing, but I did the wrong thing. But when I asked the Lord to take that taste and that desire of that alcohol, drugs, and tobacco out of my mouth, he did a little something else. He worked with my heart. He clothed me in my right mind. I don't think the way I used to. I don't have the desires I used to have. I am here to help people. One of the reasons is because I got help.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, God is a God of many chances. He's given me many chances. I'm going to tell you the truth. Me coming from the streets, I know you only get so many chances in life. I look at it like that. You know, they got the 3 strike
Yeah.
and out.
In the
rule
U.S. here,
in
yeah.
the U.S., you ain't getting out. I've never been to prison, thank God, and I'm not going to knock on wood because I trust my God, and as long as I follow his guidance and his direction, I ain't going to go wrong. But these kids need to talk to someone like me.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you can do it, at 57 years old, I can do it now. I wasted a lot of years. So what? I've learned from my experiences. I know what I don't want to go back to. My lived experience.
The reality is, I mean, if even talk about lived experiences, I mean, I'd put it to anybody in this stream right now that if you are held to account for everything that you ever did in your life, honestly, not the stuff you got caught for. I'm talking about everything that you ever did in your life. How many of us be walking on the streets right now would not be either in jail, divorced, any number of things. You know what I mean? There are many of us who have done things that go far and beyond what is morally or legally tolerable in a lot of places. And I think that I'm not saying that we all have stories as deep as the oceans, but we all have stories.
Right.
And the reality is that it's our job to learn from the story. As you're talking about, that lived experience. I mean, you want to be able to walk in front of a student and say, you know what, I know what you're going through. I've done
and be
it.
real about that.
Yeah. And be transparent about it and say, look, it sucks. It's struggle. I mean, you struggle hard. But this is how I overcame that and how I'm successful today. And Diablo, thank you very much for the donation, brother. Diablo just donated $50 to the stream to help Rise Above. So he says, Merry Christmas to the kids. Thank you very much for the help, Diablo. I really appreciate that, brother. It'll go. The kids are putting Christmas trees up today in the classroom. So much love, brother. Huge thank you.
Okay.
So
now,
go ahead.
I would have to say, so that first thing was because of the success rate of this program.
Yep.
Second thing is the second chances. I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
Second chance. Give me kids a second chance and whatnot. And I need a second chance. Clincher. This was the clincher. In this interview, Neil and myself talked about different things that he's involved in. I mean, going through the building, he showed me this room, showed me Desert Pod.
The studio,
He showed me the studio. Last time we were here, which was before the holidays, Thursday was my last day.
Yeah.
We started talking about the Bible. I knew he was a pastor because it's on his card. And I really started looking at the situation. God's putting you in a position where you can talk to a person that's more knowledgeable than myself. Not that I have a whole lot of knowledge, but I got enough knowledge to know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
I call it wisdom, but yeah.
Wisdom. You told me, you said, this is what you told me. You said, yeah, man, you can ask me anything. You said you a theologian. You said you can read Arabic,
Greek, Hebrew, and
three different languages. When I walked out of here that day, I said to myself, he's going to have a lot of answers to my questions. I got my own church that I go to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I got people that I can go to.
Yeah.
But to be in an internship, to have that luxury, I think I'm where God put me. I mean, I turned the internship down that I had really committed to. And I told Neil that I didn't commit. And then I realized I did because the day
I spoke to him, by the way.
Okay, thank
you. You're good. You're absolutely
The day I was supposed to go, I didn't. And the lady reached out to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, man. So my plan was I was going to bow gracefully and make sure, no, I don't want to do it. But I never did it. So it just kept going until they was expecting me.
Yeah.
So to make a long story short, I really look at it now is I'm right here on this microphone in this room with Neil. Not really all of my doing. I think the Lord really put me here.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn a lot from this gentleman. I'm going to learn a lot from this environment.
We're gonna learn a lot together, I think.
I think we're going to go together, and that's a beautiful thing. But the main purpose is I've watched a lot of TV in my life. TV buff, shows and all kinds of stuff. I don't watch TV, however. Church guy, we don't watch TV. They say, I'll put no evil thing before me. But that's what we choose to do.
Yeah, I
can watch it. Ain't nobody telling me I can't. But
I got you.
Two commercials I've seen in my life that has been very impactful. One of them is the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. The second one, which I cannot, it's just a statement. The children are our future. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Me, living in the environment I lived in all these years, I look at the neighborhood children. Many of them don't have any hope. There's not many success stories that I know of. Drug gangs, all this kind of stuff. A lot of these kids are. Me and you talked about a gentleman that came here that what, $80,000 worth of jewelry on,
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
box full of money,
Yeah.
a very high-powered weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So for these children that are in these positions, in these gangs, in this drug gang, to tell this person, hey man, you know what? If you go to school and you get your high school diploma, and while you're going to school, work at McDonald's and you can make $9 an hour,
Yeah.
they're gonna laugh you out the room. I mean, are you crazy? They're reaching their pocket and pull out
A roll of bills, like
two
you
stacks
dream
of
about.
$100 bills.
Mm-hmm.
And tell, man, this is my card. I paid this card.
Yeah.
I'm buying my mother. So the normal things of normal life is not appealing to them when you got all this quick, fast, flash money.
Mm-hmm.
And in other words, not just flash money, they are somebody.
Well, and they get belonging, right? Suddenly, I'm a part of something bigger than
Bigger
myself. It
myself.
transcends,
Which is going to take you straight
Yeah.
to jail, prison,
I
or
grew
hell.
up. I grew up being nothing. Now I'm something.
somebody.
Now these guys respect me.
Right,
Good or bad, they respect me.
right.
So
But-
it's just, it's horrible.
But it's going to lead to no avail.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
going
it's
to
gonna lead to
you
death.
jail.
Especially in our community right now, the death rate right now is, kids are dropping like flies all over town.
They say we're on a record-breaking year.
It's nuts what's
We're,
going on. in
we're
our
already
community right now.
record-breaking year for murders in this city.
It's crazy.
But this is killing part about it too. This is Jackson. Jackson has approximately 40,000 people.
about that.
Go down the street to Detroit, 1 million plus.
Mm-hmm.
Go back the other way, Grand Rapids, 250. Battle Creek. Muskegon, where I'm from, 42, 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Every city that I know somebody in, it's the same situation.
Yeah.
Killing,
Mm-hmm.
drugs, dying from fentanyl. This program is going to save some of those children.
Mm-hmm. We hope, yeah.
It's going
We
to.
are. Oh,
It's
I
doing
think,
it now.
I think we are, yeah.
Okay, so you just said the key. You want to be a part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
I'm already a child of God, so I'm in the kingdom of I'm one of his children.
Mhm.
But that's not enough. Somebody got to tell them something. They need to be able to relate to a person and say, you know what,
Yeah.
man, you've been there, man. And
You're talking about the hands and feet side of things now. You're telling your story, and that's your testimony is what changes lives, right?
Amen. Yes, sir.
Right. So
Yeah.
Morgan, this is what you get to do every day with your kiddos, right? You get to go into that facility, and you get to work with these kids, and putting mittens on hands doesn't just warm up fingers, right? It actually changes lives because now you got a kid that sees you as something other than just a teacher, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
and that's our goal here. Is anytime we step in front of these kids, it's just to not to be someone that's going to give them a math credit or science, whatever, but actually to teach them a life skill that they walk out of here with, and brings about not just little change but massive life shifts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I always, I've said it. I can't tell you how many times I've said the idea of when in hole, stop digging. When you're digging, constantly just digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper, and at some point you got to stop digging, right? And the challenge that we have most often is kids think that digging is fun,
Okay.
right? They're I'm living the dream, and look, I got all this stuff. I'm doing great. I'm just digging this hole, but you're still in a freaking hole. You don't even realize you're in a deep hole,
Deep hole.
right? That is going to be a bugger to get out of. And here I just said this to my wife last night, Veronica last night. You throw a kid at that rope. It doesn't matter how hard you throw it. Doesn't matter how beautiful the rope is, how pure it is, what it's made of. If that kid doesn't want it,
They're not going to grab it.
it don't matter. All right, so pull the rope out. All right, let me know when you want. Let me know when you want the rope. I'll throw it back down. That's one thing with Rise Above, when we have to remove a student from the program, which happens on occasion. It's not because we're removing the student because of discipline or inactivity. It's usually because the student has completely disengaged the program.
Yeah, they moved themselves.
They've removed themselves
Right.
from the program. All we do is just say, okay, you can go, essentially.
Which
Okay,
is what they want.
we're going to stop bugging you now.
Which is what they think they want.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes it behooves us to say, because only so many times you can say to the kid, you're only 16. You really don't know. You think you know, but you don't know. because any of us think to ourselves when we were 16, you thought you knew everything.
Yes, I did.
I got it all figured out.
Yep.
And the last thing you want is to have an adult coming around and tell you you ain't got it figured out. You really don't know. And it takes a pretty special kid that when they're in the hole and you're yelling down, hey, just so you know, you don't have it figured out. You're digging the wrong way. That they go, oh, crap, really? Here, can you throw me that rope?
Yeah. Let me see what you're talking about.
It's, it's hard, when you see somebody who is intentionally digging in the wrong direction, thinking that they're going to get a better result.
I was saying something about I heard in AANA, and you said, no, that's the definition of insanity. Thinking you're going to keep doing the same things but getting
a different result.
And
everyone caught that. It's a fairly common phraseology. The idea of the definition of insanity is continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, but expecting a different result every time.
Insane.
Yeah, you're
insane.
Going crazy thinking that.
Yeah. So my journey is really just my journey's really brought me here because, in all actuality, maybe about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks at the most before our interview.
Yeah.
Me and yourself. We were doing a segment in the class that I'm in.
Yeah.
I think it might have been 628, Search Work 628. And we're dealing with adolescents.
Yeah.
And they were dealing with drugs. And we had to watch these videos with the therapist dealing with the children, adolescents.
Yeah.
And wow, black dude. One was Oriental. One black guy, Latino. He was hard. White guy, Oriental girl. There's about 7 of them in this one video with segments.
Yeah, yeah.
And I sat there and watched that video. And I really was, I convinced myself in the video because I spoke it in class the following week. I said, man, these kids here is somebody, you know what? I know the population I don't want to deal with. Okay? I said that. I don't want to deal with these adolescents because I'm looking at them. Then they were males and with females. And some are going to think they tough. They, what? They laid back. First of all, they laid back.
They posture.
And then you strike a nerve. They like, what? What do you mean by that? Well, I'm just here because, man, I don't want to go through that. You know what I'm saying? I'm 57 years old. I don't fight anymore. Okay. I don't want to fight a child.
Especially want to fight a child.
Yeah, I don't know what this dude might, because I pissed him off, just come tell him about himself or whatever. Or he mad at somebody else, and I say one thing, spark. He come across the desk, we got to tussle.
Yeah.
So I said, this is the population I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
But within a few weeks after I talked to you through the interview, I realized this is the population that I'm going to deal with. Definitely for the internship. I don't know what happened after this, but right now, this is where I choose to be, and I think this is where the Lord led me.
It's funny that you say that. I mean, we've talked about this a little bit before, but I was in the exact same boat years ago, probably 14, 15 years ago, where I said the exact same thing. Man, I'll do anything. But work with teenagers, man. Them teenagers, you cannot control them things. They're like wild animals. They will eat you alive.
Oh, my God.
If I've done nothing but work with teenagers for the past 15 years, it's been the worst thing you do is say, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, that's the only thing you're going to be. Yeah.
Well, we got to say it in the streets. They say never say never.
Yeah.
Especially when you be like me, my first time going to jail. I got out, and when I was in there, I would tell them all the guys, man, you never coming back to jail. They say, young blood, be careful. Don't never say never.
Yeah.
And I've heard it many, many times. And it's a true statement. Don't say never.
Yeah.
Here I am again.
So
I ain't
true.
never going to deal with the youth.
And you know what? The crazy thing is, and you said something important as you were telling that story. You talk about the one kid in the video that gets up and says, "Oh, I'm only here because
the courts got me here."
Yeah, he was forced to be there.
Right.
And I talk about that all. Hey, Jimbo, what's up, buddy? It says you're a first-time viewer. It's our first-time chatter. That's funny. Going good, Jimbo. Good to see you again, buddy. But you were saying that the reality is, and I say it all the time in this stream here, you can't force someone to love you.
No.
Right? So if I force somebody into a program like this, I'm going to constantly get that pushback. I'm going to constantly get that that, oh, I don't want to, I'm not listening to you. I'm only here because my mom's for it. Or when school says I have to be here, the courts
Right.
say I have to be here,
Right.
whatever the thing is.
They come in. They like.
Just let me just serve my time and go. That's what it comes down to. Versus when you go down and you talk to the students downstairs right now, when you talked about before this idea that the building is quiet, there's laughter, there's games, there's schoolwork happening. There's mischief sometimes. I know, it is what they're still teenagers, I mean, even the adults are mischievous sometimes. You got dart guns and everything else down there, the Nerf guns. Oh yeah, they're constantly playing games. But the reality is, they're here because they want to be here. Every one of the kids that's here right now, here today, is here because they want to be here. Most of the kids come here on days they don't even need to be here.
Really?
Yes.
I can see why though. It's quiet.
It's incredible. It just the environment brings about peace. So you're a well-known lurker, Jim. Yeah, you are kind of a well-known lurker. But the reality is, I think when you put it in the context of Rise Above and what it is that you're seeking, I think you're gonna. I think you're really gonna. You're gonna find just as much peace as the kids do.
I do already.
You're gonna find that being able to tell your story. Hey, Nick, what's going on, buddy? That being able to tell your story, and how you overcame, and not just telling the story because I want to tell war stories, but I mean to be able to tell your story with the desire to create understanding, and to generate wisdom. It just absolutely is transitional. It shifts kids that in ways that a rule or discipline never could.
Right. Makes sense.
We talked about that this morning, this idea of judges versus kings.
Yeah.
In
the Bible, yeah.
We desire strong leadership.
I never knew that till you brought that up.
It's by nature. We are drawn to good leaders, people who speak well. We're drawn to good speakers, right? That's why when you talk about certain pastors that you want to listen to, there's certain pastors because they speak well.
Right. Go ahead.
And it's the same thing with kids. I mean, the reason why they join gangs and stuff like that very often is because they're trying to find a leader. Guide me, I want to be your Padawan. Just I want to be the knight in your army, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And so what we do first and foremost with these kids is Nick and I assert ourselves in a way that is very fatherly and gives them that stake in the ground to say, this is your leader. This is the safe spot you need to be. And then from there, there's we've already talked about it to a great extent, this idea of a depth of a relationship that just breeds joy.
That's the difference. That's the difference. You told me. Neil told me during the interview that there's some kids coming here.
What's up, Louis?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear. I just said hi to somebody.
Okay.
It's Louis. One of the guys, Louis, back in the stream.
Cool. Neil explained to me that some of the kids, depending on, each individual has to be dealt with individually. You can't deal with all these children the same way. And it takes an expertise. It takes a professionalism. It takes an insight into how to deal with them and know how to get the best out of them. Neil told me something about some of the kids that come in here, their first day, their first week, it's not gonna be anything about scholastics. Ain't gonna be no math, no science, or no reading, whatever the case. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, I got to build that trust level. I got to show them that I love them.
Mm-hmm.
For them, I kind of see where you're going. For them to drop their guard, because they're probably coming here with their guards up.
Well, they're expecting the same that they've got everywhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
So the concept here, it needs to be used in a lot of other places as far as I'm concerned. The concept here is really, I'm adopting you as one of my own.
Yeah.
You're my child.
Absolutely.
I love you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Neil has let me know that anything come to this school that's a threat to his kids is going to have to get past him. He ain't the biggest guy in the world, but you can see he ain't no weak person. So they have a confidence in him, and they trust him. And I don't know if what you're talking about, that leader, maybe you're the leader that they're looking for. He told me how this whole Rise Above organization started. And it's fascinating because I feel I'm here because the Lord led me here. I know he's here and his wife is here because the Lord led them here. So it's going to be, that's why it's successful.
Yeah.
That's why it's successful. I don't think you could, person told me this. Anytime you can get a job, a career, and you're getting paid to do something that you like to do, that is a great career or a great job. We got NBA football players. We got actors and actresses. We make an astronomical lot of money for doing something that they like to do. And that gets me to another point. And they're making a whole lot of money. But you know what? I know for a fact all of them aren't happy. They got everything in the world they can want. They can travel. They can go anywhere they want. I know a guy. I went to it's in Grand Rapids, Mel Trotter. It's a shelter, homeless shelter.
Yeah.
They have many different programs in there. Substance abuse. They got all kind of programs in there. Pastor was there. I ain't gonna say his name. He told me he was in a position at one point in time in his life, big drug dealer. He could ask a person, would you like to go to another country for lunch or for breakfast? Matter of fact, he had his own plane, was a pilot.
Yeah.
They jump in that plane and they would go. And they would go just to eat maybe a meal and turn right back around. And he had all this money and planes and all that kind of stuff. He never got popped. He quit the game.
Yeah.
And he explained to me how that money and everything he was chasing, he could never catch it. He was on a little measly salary at that organization.
Yep.
And he said, comparing what I'm doing right now to what I was doing then, now I'm happy. So, a person that can find their niche in life, they really do. And if God is inspiring a person to do whatever they're doing, they're going to be not even only good at it, they're going to be that much better at it. And it's going to be a success. So, wherever my role in social work leads me, which there's is vast. I could be in the prison, I could be in school, I could be nursing homes, hospital, or wow, where can I be? Travel the world.
Back in the military.
Record straightened out. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, it's just being able to help somebody else helps me.
Yeah.
Because AA and NA, I don't know which one, they're probably AA because it started first. It's a motto they have. They say you keep what you got by giving it away, which means the knowledge and the tools that you learn from this program, you're going to be able to help somebody else, equip them with the same knowledge, wisdom, and the same tools to get them out of that hole that they've dug for themselves as it was given to you. It's a win-win.
Yeah. It's a very similar principle to what we have here, this idea of just, sharing your past experiences and helping others overcome. So
Beautiful concept.
Yeah, it is. Well, cool. Any last thoughts before we say goodbye for the afternoon?
I just want to. Okay, this is the.
This won't be the last one. We're going to
Okay.
do another one of these in the future, so don't worry too much.
Now you said some of the kids come here on days that they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Because they like it here.
Yeah.
Me and Neil were just really going over the days and times that I actually be here for my internship. But right before we did this, we was in a very relaxed conversation. He showed me the office that I'll be occupying while I'm here at Rise Above. And we were talking about the kings and the judges in the Bible. And he finally said, well, I just want to let you know too, Ron, as long as we're open, you're welcome to come. If you want to come do an assignment, get to a quiet place, I can come here now more than just Tuesday and Thursday. That offer was given to me. What he's going to realize is he's going to see me much more too, because this environment is it's a quiet, loving, peaceful environment that I got a home that over the years, I messed up so much money. Me and my wife are buying a home right now.
Yeah.
We started last August. We got it last August.
Nice.
So we're in a little bit more than a year. And my home is in all actuality is my castle. It's really my sanctuary. I got a bedroom downstairs, which is my prayer closet. And even though my house is my sanctuary, I'm gonna be over here, for real, more than Tuesday and Thursday.
That's awesome.
Because it's a place I want to come to.
Yeah.
And I can see why they would want to come here because when these kids leave here, we don't know what they're going into.
Yeah.
Well, I do, and you do, but you all might not know they're going to hell.
Yeah.
And who wants to be in hell?
Yeah.
So they come here.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is a really good thing. Audience, any last thoughts, any parting thoughts, comments, questions, anything you want us to answer real quick before we've been on for about an hour and a half-ish. It's been that long. It's been quite a journey so
Time
far.
rolls.
Yeah. Going forward, Ron and I will be doing topics going forward. So as well, I'm going to be doing, so I'm not sure the frequency for Ron and I doing future ones in the topic side of things, but I'm also going to, pardon me, I've got a lot of requests. I mean, when I say a lot, I mean a lot of requests to do a fitness type stream video series. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do start recording once a week in the gym some stuff, and then we'll do a stream occasionally to talk about fitness and stuff and show you what I'm doing, because I'm going to be doing a lot of competitions hopefully here in the spring and whatnot. So a question for you: does Ron have any hidden talents? Someone I've had on in the past was really good at beatboxing and stuff. I think that was my son, actually. That's funny.
Where me?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about, what was his name? Oh, I feel so bad. It was a student of ours, Louis, that was beatboxing. I know him. I exactly remember who you're talking about now. Any hidden talents, Ron? Obviously not beatboxing, but can you knit? Can you make baskets? Can you fly an airplane? Any hidden talents?
Nah. I'm a people person. I like dealing with people. When you get involved with the Lord in churches, you know they say we all have gifts.
Yeah.
I haven't really found mine. I'm good at some things. I'm very good at learning.
Yeah.
I'm very good at relaying and reaching people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what other than that, because I'm not artistical.
I would say one of the talents that you've got that hasn't been realized yet is you're a good storyteller.
Okay.
You're really good at relaying your experiences. You're really good, like this environment here.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be fun going forward. I'm gonna have a lot of fun exploring the topics that we come up with.
Okay.
In the future, because I think that your ability to use your testimony as a way of conveying the wisdom that you have attached to it is phenomenal. The way that you wove your history today together with your experiences and your desired outcomes with Rise Above was good for me. It was, like I said, and it'll present well for the audience when they tune in. So I think that's definitely a talent that you'll explore and kind of generate as we go on. This might be something that we do long into the future for all we know.
Okay.
So just keep that in the back pocket. So Louis, my thought right now on kind of the talent, because I think he's a good orator. I think he's got a gift of storytelling, and I look forward to hearing more in the future.
One thing that I want to get good at is back to working out.
You want to go back to the gym, or just fitness in general?
Fitness in general.
Yeah.
Well, I get on riding the bike.
Yeah.
For a period of time. I walk for a period of time. Stop. So I want to get on something steady.
Yeah.
That'll help my health, help me get because I have arthritis throughout my body.
Yeah.
So I ache.
You have any of that stuff at home right now? You have any of those things? The bike, the elliptical, or treadmill?
No. I mean, actual swing. I ride the bike trail.
I got you.
And I walk, but I don't have any workout equipment. But another thing, I'm gonna learn from you. You don't know. I'm gonna learn from you. For what you're talking about, what you're gonna do, how to eat, and how to work out and do what you do in the gym. I'm gonna learn from you. And it's time.
Good.
And one thing about me is this. Excuse me.
Yeah, right.
I have an ability. Well, I put it like this: I'm not a quitter. It took me 37 years to quit drugs, so I'm not a quitter. And one thing that has really helped me out, I do believe, on my school journey, military training.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
Hey man, this is not gonna beat me. No. I'm gonna master this. I can't let it master me.
Yeah.
Drugs did for a lot of years, but they finally lost. But anything else that I come across, I put it like this here: I love challenges, and the Lord is equipping me to be able to meet the challenges.
Yeah.
So as life goes on and progresses, he's going to give me harder challenges, but he's going to also give me a way to overcome the challenges. and to
Yeah,
conquer.
I think one of the
So let's
things
do
that people most often learn about me is the worst thing you can say to me is, "Oh, you can't do that."
Don't do that. to
Don't do
me.
that.
Don't do
Oh, really? You don't think I can do that?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me see if I can do that.
That's a good mental.
Throw some more weight on the bar. Let's see what we can do
Oh,
here.
Lord. I don't know about all that.
So,
That's good.
well, cool. Awesome. Ron, thanks for joining me today.
Man, I'm glad to be here.
I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you for
And I look forward to our future conversations and kind of seeing what direction we take this ship in the future.
Yes, sir.
Audience, Diablo, thanks for the huge dono today, bro. That's really kind of a big deal. And thank you for that. Morg meme, thank you for the 1,500 bits. That'll go a long way to helping the kids as well. And Diablo and Morg meme, thank you both for resubbing and bringing that back around to a combined 28 and 15 months, respectively, between the two of you. So huge love to you guys. And everyone else in chat, Louie, Nick was here. Louie, Jimbo was in today. Albert was here for a bit today. Had a whole bunch of people run through here, and I don't want to miss anybody, but at the same time, Kuro, Don, all you guys rock, and I appreciate everyone that showed up, considering I haven't been on for a few minutes. Jimbo, even you for stopping in for a second, even though you just bailed on me right away. I'm going to have to text you later on and give you some what for. But, yeah, thank you guys. And if you have conversations or topics that you want us to explore, by all means, reach out to me through Discord. And if you are interested in the fitness stream and there's something that you want me to focus on there or something you want to see from me specifically, by all means, use the Discord to get through to me or private message me through Twitch. Thank you all very much again for joining the stream. And heck, we're gonna be doing things here pretty soon. So thanks, guys. Hope everyone has a great day. Ron, thanks again.
Thank you.
Peace out, everyone.